Molto bene. Buonasera, signore e signori. Dobry wieczór państwu. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matteo Liari. I'm the director of the Italian Cultural Institute in Krakow. I'm very happy to welcome all of you here, to welcome the international representatives. Oh. No problem. Was welcoming all the international representatives of the European Association Romea Strata. And the reason why I'm personally very happy of the opportunity to host this presentation tonight is that Romea Strata truly demonstrate that Europe is not merely a political or economic project, rather a path walked for centuries by pilgrims, by travelers, and by communities. The roots, cultural roots, as Romea Strata, which is the longest among the Vie Romee pilgrimage routes heading to Rome through the centuries, perfectly embody the mission of cultural diplomacy, which is building lasting bridges between people and countries. Having a route such as this one, more than 4,700 kilometers, shared among 9 countries, really help us highlighting a common heritage which lasts throughout Europe. It's a journey which becomes a touristic itinerary, not only which is far more than being just another way to foster tourism among countries. It's a concrete response, in my personal view at least, to the fragmentation of contemporary Europe and a possible antidote to the damage that mass tourism is causing nowadays. This is why I'm personally very, again, happy for the opportunity to hearing about the last achievement of the European Strata project. I welcome Mr. Franciszek Mróz, from the representative of the Polish Association, Polish branch of the Romea Strata Association, Aleksandra Grbic, which is the project coordinator of Romea Strata, and Viola Gaudiano, the project development. Thank you very much indeed, and Franciszek, please, the stage is yours.
Dobry wieczór, szanowni państwo. Ja będę mówił po polsku. Mam nadzieję, że tu będzie takie małe tłumaczenie. Bardzo się cieszę, że mogę tutaj się z państwem spotkać w Instytucie Kultury Włoskiej i ogromnie się cieszę, że jako naukowiec, jako kierownik zespołu badawczego Europejskie Szlaki Kulturowe, który funkcjonuje w Uniwersytecie Komisji Edukacji w Krakowie, możemy tutaj także spotkać się i być też współorganizatorami tego spotkania.
Mr. Franciszek said that he's really happy that he can meet you right here now in Krakow in this Institute of Italian Culture. And as a member of the institution, jaka to była instytucja?
Uniwersytet Komisji Edukacji Narodowej w Krakowie. Ogromnie się cieszę, że po raz pierwszy spotkanie Zarządu Głównego AERS odbywa się poza granicami właściwie Włoch, a więc właśnie w naszym mieście, w Krakowie.
He's happy that the first meeting of this association, what's the name?
AERS.
AERS? Okay. Yeah.
Europejskie Stowarzyszenie Romea Strata.
Yeah, the European Association of Romea Strata meeting. The first meeting is right here, which is held outside Italy, is right here in Krakow now.
Szanowni Państwo, Jan Paweł II w Wadowicach powiedział, tu wszystko się zaczęło. Ja chciałbym powiedzieć właśnie w tym miejscu, że tutaj w Krakowie, jeśli chodzi o mój zespół badawczy, wszystko się zaczęło.
Just like John Paul II said that in Wadowice, in his hometown, everything started, yes? Just like him, Mr. Franciszek wants to say that for us, everything starts right here now in Krakow with our project of Romea Strata.
Dlaczego? Powiem, w roku 2018 w sanktuarium Jana Pawła II odbywała się kongres turystyki religijnej, gdzie gościliśmy przedstawicieli właśnie wówczas ARS-u, Romea Straty. I wówczas...
Because in Krakow in 2018 there was a meeting during which we had some guests from this Romea Strata Association.
I to rozpoczęło kontakt ARS-u z moją uczelnią, z naszą uczelnią i podjęcie badań naukowych, podjęcie takich działań, aby ten szlak w Polsce mógł zaistnieć, aby mógł być oznakowany, aby mógł być odtworzony.
And that was the beginning of the cooperation of Romea Strata Association with the university. Mr. Franciszek is the representative of, and that was actually the beginning of the cooperation between the two institutions for the with the goal of recreation of this Romea Strata Trail.
Rok później, w roku 2019, moja uczelnia została włączona jako członek założycielski ARS-u, a w roku ubiegłym mogliśmy świętować wspólnie certyfikat nadania temu szlakowi rangi Europejskiego Szlaku Kulturowego Rady Europy.
So the cooperation between the two institutions resulted in the fact that last year the project was given a certificate of the European Council and became one of the cultural traits, official cultural roots of the European Union.
Tym samym Polska wpisuje się jako 21. już Europejski Szlak Kulturowy, ale mam nadzieję, że ten szlak, właśnie Romea Strata, podobnie jak Droga Świętego Jakuba, która też jest mi bardzo bliska, będzie takim żywym szlakiem, na którym pielgrzymi, turyści z Polski, z zagranicy będą mogli spotkać się z własnym sercem, z drugim człowiekiem i z Bogiem.
So we hope that this Romea Strata route will become something similar to some other routes like Camino de Santiago, which is probably the most popular, which will be one of the ways in which people can meet on both on this tourist and spiritual level. Yeah.
Bardzo dziękuję za to spotkanie, dziękuję za to, że Państwo przyjechaliście, że możemy wspólnie ten szlak kreować i rozwijać.
So thank you very much for coming, for that we can together create and develop this project of this Romea Strata Trail.
Hello everyone. I'm also glad to be here to speak about the Romea Strata, and I have this rule to explain you what is the Romea Strata today. So today the Romea Strata is the longest European leads to Rome. We have this 4,700 kilometers crossing 7 countries along Europe, starting from Tallinn, so Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, and Italy. The destination is Rome, so the central part of our Christianity, to the grave of the St. Peter and Paul. And now we are today 55 members. So behind this cultural route, because today we are also a certified cultural route of the Council of Europe, behind there is a very huge European network composed by members that are universities, dioceses, private also organization, and also all the touristic also organization related to touristic. So what happens today and yesterday? We held our General Assembly every year. All the members of the European Association meet together in order to define objectives and activities, and in order to develop these important cultural routes that of course is also pilgrimage route, because we have to rediscover this common heritage as Europeans, pilgrims. And we have the opportunity to hold for the very first time this assembly out of our symbolic headquarters in Aquileia. And we were very happy to organize it in Krakow because we are exactly in the middle between Tallinn and Rome. And also thanks to our new Polish members, because in the last year, the Jean Paul II Center and the Institute joined the European Association. And of course, with the enormous work of the UK University that work a lot in rediscovering the path in Poland. So we were very happy to start this, a broad experience of the assembly in Krakow, and we will continue to organize the assembly also along the route in other countries in the future. And during these 2 days, we have the opportunity, of course, to meet in presence and exchange good practices. Yesterday, in the morning, we have the opportunity to refresh our values as a cultural route, and especially the outcomes were related to intercultural and interreligious dialogue, the community empowerment, and of course the youth engagement in the cultural routes and in slow tourism. And then in the afternoon, we have the opportunity to exchange the good practices among the members of the different countries. So we have learned from each other how to develop this important tool. So, for example, events, information days, local social inclusion also. So we have the opportunity to go deeper all this experience. And then this morning, we transformed this assembly in a practical workshops in order also to afford some important aspects related to the development of the cultural route. For example, understanding our needs as, different nations, different teams. So be aware of our also expectation now that we have reached this important goal of the certification. And then we work also a little bit about the important topic of the welcome and accommodation along the route. You know that to be a good cultural route, you have to have a clear destination, but of course, services along the route. So it is an important aspect for us. And finally, we start to work on European project ideas. So thinking about the future and all the topics that we would like to develop together as a European team in order to be a resource for local communities to grow, especially in the rural areas that the Romea Strata cross. So today is that. The Romea Strata is an opportunity for local communities to grow in a unique sense of common European heritage, especially, as we said today, that is a particular geopolitical situation. So we are at your disposal, and thank you very much for being here.
So, my name is Viola Gaudiano. I'm the project developer of the Romea Strata, and I am the speaker for the future. So Alexander presents you what is happening today and in the following weeks. But as all projects, we have to think about our future. We have to think about sustainability, and we have to think about where our path is leading us, not only to Rome, that is our final destination, but also in terms of development, where we want to go. We had the opportunity to present our goals to a really broader audience last December in Aquileia during the ceremony that officially certified the Romea Strata as a cultural route. And we had the opportunity to spend a few hours reflecting on where we want to go next, because the certification was a huge achievement, a huge goal. So we have to set the bar even higher now. So the first goal that we have for the future is to reinforce our network, not only as an association, as members among us, but also on the local communities. Alexandra just mentioned that we are a tool for local development, and we have to take care of our local stakeholders. Local communities, the love for the local communities is our goal. We need to take care of them. We need to talk to them. And so one of our goals is to reinforce the network at the field level. Then, of course, we have to attract people, but we don't want to become one of those highway of walking. We want to keep our identity as a niche, and we want to attract pilgrims and tourists that are eager to discover the heritage along the Romea Strata, that are willing to travel a little bit less comfortably to be more sustainable. This is crucial for us. The sustainability, the connection between the walking path and the heritage are one or two of our main goals for the future. Then there is the pain point. The constant development needs financial resources. And this is exactly what Alexandra was mentioning right before me. We need to think in terms of project. We need to think in terms of small micro achievement that will lead us to the development of the route. European funds are for sure the best option that we have right now. The future will see if Europe will, invent more ways to support the cultural route. But in this moment, European funds are our best option. We are keeping working on that. We have several projects already that we are implementing. We are constantly writing and scouting for new projects. But the sustainability in terms of financial resourcing is crucial. So we have seen we need to develop the field, we have to work with people, we have to attract the right pilgrims, those that are interested in the proposal that we are offering, and we have to keep floating to stand. So these are our goals for the future, and I also have the role to give the floor to the others. So in this room, we also have representatives from other countries from that Romea Strata traverse. So we are missing our Lithuanian and Czech partners because travel calls. But the other countries are in this room. So if there are any question or any adding that you want to put on the pile, we are open for the floor discussion.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Can I ask you to use the microphone because of the registration?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, actually, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you very much for the organization of this lovely occasion. This is the first time I heard about the Roma Strata, and I've already fallen in love with it, so definitely going to do it. The first question is, are there any plans to actually extend, because you were talking about extending over the side of the north side, but what about the south side? So once you get to Rome, obviously Rome has got an incredible level of spirituality and an incredible level of symbolism to actually stop in Rome, but why not go any further? In terms of... obviously, Italy is an amazing place. I'm not only saying that because I'm Italian, but I'm also Sicilian. And having an opportunity for people to actually go all the way down and connecting two extreme points of Europe, I think it would be an amazing opportunity for people to see something else as well, but also to make really, really special, point to point. And the other question, if I may, honestly, I swear, this is the last one, is how long would it take going on a steady pace, going from Tallinn to Rome?
So, yeah, you're welcome. We will leave you our contact so you can directly send an email, call us. And so as for your first question, there is a reason, and the reason is historical. We have a clear historical proof, evidences that there were pilgrims, people that were not Christian when they started their journey and become Christian when they arrive in Rome, that were walking from Tallinn to Rome. We have collecting historical evidence. We have a scientific committee that is working on that. Our coordinator of the scientific committee just left, but she would be able to tell you much more about this. And so Rome is the final destination. Of course, people were not only traveling to Rome. Europe is has a huge number of routes, and what we have in our logo over there, the one that looks like an arrow is also the representation of the three peregrinaciones mayores, so Santiago, Rome, and Jerusalem. So everybody was going everywhere. But in this particular case, we decided that we want to rediscover the route that was connecting the center of Christianity with the northern, eastern, central Europe. So this is historical and scientific. Then, how long took Christian? 6 months, Beatrice? Seven-ish. So we have actually a diary. It's in German, but you can read it, of a pilgrim. We call him Pilgrim Zero. And Christian is a guy from Austria. He sent us an email in May last year saying, look guys, I'm starting from Tallinn, and then let's see where my feet lead me. And in December, he arrived in Rome, and it was a really nice coincidence because also our president Raimondo was in Rome those days, and they met, they have opportunity to chat a little bit. He's Austrian, but his mother is Italian. Yeah, he speaks Italian. From Alto Adige. No need to underline this. Okay, so yeah, 7-ish months by foot. If you want to go by bike, much less, like 2 months and a half, 3 months, and yeah. But if you want, you can cut it. 10 days this year, 10 days next year.
That's what we're saying, on a steady pace, saying, X amount of kilometers per day. But then,
Yeah.
in a situation like that, you don't really have to go too fast or too slow. You just go at your pace. But that's a very good indication, 6 months. So I'll probably reserve about a year for myself.
Okay. Let's keep in touch.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Because
You're at your place.
Because but as always, I'm the very last person here actually knowing the details about the project, which is why I'm also the most interested person in the room usually when we are doing such kind of events. So a great opportunity for me as well. Now I'm interested. From what the gentleman was saying about the possibility, or how you are actually fostering the possibility to choose specific midway parts of the whole journey as a whole. So highlighting the fact that the journey could possibly also be made up by plenty of single, smaller routes, but with their own specificity, their own characteristic, their own identity, in a sense. And the reason of my question is that we all see in Italy the real big damages that over-tourism is creating. And as an Italian in Krakow, I've been seeing that Krakow is becoming more and more unfortunately, similar to plenty of Italian cities from this regard. So I truly believe that this could actually be an antidote or a way to foster and to achieve a different kind of way to through which experience territories.
So, for example, thanks to the Jubilee here last year, we take the opportunity to try exactly that solution, to propose people to have this experience in a different way. And we decided to identify what we called milestones. So along the route, we try to identify alternative destinations, but with the same high value. I mean, not only churches or very important places. In Italy, we have, for example, 20 milestones along the route. In Austria, we have 11. And now we are working to develop and find other milestones along the route. And our purpose was suggest people to take just a couple of days walking to reach this alternative destination that is equally very, very important, a huge heritage from different point of view. And doing this just 2 walking day, reaching these milestones, they could equally receive a kind of recognition of the efforts of walking. So a special symbol on the credential. This is a kind of strategy to be more also attractive. So just say you don't have to do that in a unique solution. You can take time during the year and actually knows also destination, location, heritage, less known, but amazing destinations. So that's also is our purpose. It's to, offering all others heritage that will be more affordable for people that has not so time to do that in a unique solution.
Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, hello. No, I just wanted to say something because actually I'm from a small village close to Fucecchio, which is exactly where the Via Francigena touches the Romea Strata. Actually, I was thinking it was Striata, but it's Strata. I was thinking it was Striata, but not Strata. Yeah. So yeah, I also did a part of the Via Francigena and the Camino de Santiago, of course, which is like an amazing experience. So I'm just like worried maybe for this for the facilities, because I'm thinking in the Via Francigena and the Camino de Santiago it's like full of hostels, full of like very easy facilities where pilgrims can go, public places, like even churches where you can basically sleep for €1. So I don't know how I mean, for Poland, Lithuania, maybe it's cheap, but I'm thinking more like I'm just thinking about like going to Tarvisio or these places. Like it might not be so affordable as some parts of the Via Francigena is, or even the Camino de Santiago. And also, I mean, this is the first part. If you're like intending, like in the project, to like develop in the local areas some kind of hostels that maybe it's bookable also via booking, or I don't know, just you're walking and you're finding those hostels or places where to sleep. So in order to be, when, for example, here my friend here is going for his 1 year trip, it doesn't have to bother that much to think, oh, where I will sleep? Do I have to check in booking? Or like, so this is like the first thing. Then I didn't understand exactly like if you, because in Via Francigena and Camino de Santiago, I know it's a very touristy thing, but I love the credential thing. So like to have a proper booklet where you can actually go and, in every single city you're going, you are putting a stamp. And then at the end, you're receiving like a certificate, which now the problem is, so technically it's a bit complex to have a certificate because there is no end of the because you're saying that the end of the Romea Strata is actually Rome, but it's not probably true because the end it's Fucecchio, because then it's basically it's not joining. It's not for what I saw is not the same thing. It's another path.
You were wrong, my friend.
So it's it's a different.
Let me explain you some technicalities and be really, really boring now. So the trucks, the GPX trucks are on our website, of course, but they are hosted in a portal that is called Autodactive. Is a really well-known at European level service provider. It's free for end users, and fantastic! Can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? And so on the track, you have everything you need. You have water sources, you have accommodation, you have the train station. Also, this platform is really willing to push people to walk through public systems. So if you say, oh, I'm from Fucecchio and I want to travel by foot from Modena to Pistoia, and then I want to be back home by public transport, the platform will give you option of buses, because I don't remember if Fucecchio has a train station.
Yeah, it has very far.
Yeah, but anyway, it will give option for public transportation, and this goes again to the sustainability of the route. Then, related to the accommodation. Accommodation is a huge topic, as Alexandra mentioned before, and it's not easy to find cheap accommodation for pilgrims. We are really lucky because all the 3 Baltic countries, so Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, you can basically sleep in each church you will find along. And then there are also accommodation that you can find directly on the track. So our partner, Cammino Estonia, Cammino Latvia, Cammino Lituano, they are working every day. Today, Linda told us that every 2 weeks you check the accommodation on the path. So they check the accommodation, they make sure they are available for pilgrims. Of course, not a group of 30 people, 2, 4, like this. Then, of course, there are places along every walking path that are difficult. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking with a pilgrim that had just been to Lucca along Via Francigena, saying that he had to walk another 10 kilometers because there was no way to sleep in Lucca less than 150 euros.
4,700
Yeah. So, but still, the guy has to do 10 more kilometers to find an accommodation. So this is typical, and this is becoming a problem also along Camino di Santiago. If you want, at the end of this gathering, we can talk for 2 hours about the problem that the Camino is actually experienced now, because it's a mature product. We are an early bird, let's say. We are at the beginning of our journey as a touristic product. Camino is a mature product, so has different issues, different challenges. Then you ask something else. What you ask? The credential is this one. You put stamps on it, and as Alexandra was mentioning, we have also those really fancy stamps that are stickers for this peculiar place that we have called Miliarium.
And at the end, of course, the journey, you can reach the Basilica of St. Peter. You will find there our Romea Strata volunteers. We manage more than 250 volunteers that welcome pilgrims every day, checking the credential and give them the testimonium, the final testimonium. So we also, we reach this another important goal. So this agreement with the Fabbrica di San Pietro that manage the Basilica in order to have our volunteers there. And we were very happy because we know that 25, 30 pilgrims comes from all the cultural routes, not only ours, reaching Rome and take this testimonium. So this is another important thing to say.
So Fucecchio to Roma, it's another path?
Yes, there is another path. We did this amazing work just 2 years ago, because we produced a very new guide for that. Of course, there are some stages that we have in common with the Via Francigena, but we decided to rediscover another route, because we have a little bit different scope, mission, and values. Yes, you can check.
Because I'm really I was born in Samignato. Which is, I was born exactly like in the middle of...
3 years ago, we're at connecting point, and then we follow the same directions, but we decided, of course, to have our own path
just to
through. Yes.
I will check. I was thinking it was exactly the same.
No. So you have the opportunity to have another path, reaching Rome and discover more rural locations. Really, really nice.
Amazing. Okay. Any other curiosity? You have one. This is becoming long. Is there food?
Yes, so we opened today's gathering by saying that Romea Strata is unifying Europe. And is indeed a unique route because, as we said, it's connecting 7 countries. And I believe that also might represent a challenge because compared to other routes like Camino de Santiago in Spain or Kumano Kodo in Japan, which are nation-based, so they are intended to develop their own country. So which are the main challenges that you are facing by keeping all the associations and countries to be stick to the main to the main scope, and as you said, also to the main scientific reason that's a route connecting all these 7 countries to Rome.
We work like a family. Can we do like that? Yeah. Okay. So we work like a family. Sometimes you get along, sometimes you don't. We are different. We have different cultures. We have a different way to understand what a pilgrimage is. We have a pilgrimage guide in our board. Our vice president, Krista Englinger. Krista, please stand. She's a pilgrimage guide, so she has her own, understanding of what a pilgrimage should be. But other people in the association have other ideas. But this is not the reason why we cannot work together. We also are very diversified because some of the cultural routes have in their association only public institutions. But we decided at the very beginning, Don Raimondo Sinibaldi really funded the association with the idea that we should be gathering all the stakeholders along the route. So we have DMOs, we have universities, we have small non-governmental association, and it's not easy. I have to say that the biggest problem that we have is the different size of the members, because of course bigger organizations have more financial stability and it's easier for them to commit in doing something even in kind for the cultural route. Smaller organizations are always struggling with the funds and personnel, and it's not easy for them to make a long-term commitment. On the other side, we have to compromise. So we try to make, we don't want to make everybody happy, but we try to have a good balance among our different priorities. It's not a solution that one fits all, definitely, but it's more a, unbalanced balance, like in the family. Sometimes you win, sometimes I win, and this is the way it is.
Obviously, you don't want to become too touristic, but at the same time, you need more people. You need to have a little bit. You're actually going to be heard a little bit more people to be interested. So I think this is what you're saying in terms of having that balance as well. Yeah.
In terms of target, yes. Also because today we were discussing with our representative from the Turajda Museum Reserve. We were discussing about the fact that some of the pilgrims are not willing to visit the heritage sites. So I was asking myself, this is really peculiar for me, but there are different niches, so we should be able to, to welcome all. Of course, for us, the best option will be people that are willing to walk and are willing to visit the heritage sites. This is the best option, but this is not always the case.
Different regions, yeah? And everybody knows about the Camino de Santiago because also it's probably the most known. But I think people were a little bit more aware about other obviously walks. Like this one you're actually looking at today. I think it will be really, really interesting. It's something that really caught my attention today, and something that I definitely want to do. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you too.
Maybe you could explain language barriers along the road.
There is none. You explain. You that you are not.
I would imagine they will speak Latin, yeah? That would be
Definitely not. I think I'm the only one who studied Latin in the team.
No, of course, we have several languages and we try to manage some kind with English, but of course, at the local level, English is not so, first language. So also this is another challenge in order to produce and communicate in 7 different languages. It's not so easy. Because of the amount of materials you have to produce and videos and so on. So of course we started producing the most important institutional things in English, and in each countries we are working to produce specific materials in each languages in order to starting to attract local people, national people. And then we hope that AI will help us in the future to work better together on these sites. But of course, also language is very, very important. And now we are investing on these sites.
You don't have to be fluent in all 7 languages.
No, of course. We don't.
That's very good news, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. We can wrap up?
Is there any age limit for the pilgrims?
Don't ask.
Actually, Alexandra was working when she was pregnant, so Allegra started working even before she was born, so there's no age limit. So if there is no other question, we can wrap up. I can ask maybe Matteo to say the goodbyes.
Kinda. No, I think it's working. One thing that I forgot to say at the very beginning is that we had the pleasure to host, actually to co-organize a tiny presentation of Romea Strata in 2023, the beginning of the year. So it's actually a great pleasure to meet again after a few years to acknowledge the great not only the improvement, but the size the project has grown in such a short term. So I would like to say congratulations to everybody for the work the strength and the commitment you have been putting into it. I just hope to see the whole of you again in a couple of more years to acknowledge again how gigantic the project would have become by that date. That's really what I personally hope. I will steal a map from you because I will personally start selecting the very first parts of the path that I might be trying to do without dying myself. Thank you again to the whole of you for proposing us to this presentation. Thank you to all the audience, to the media, to the public that joined us tonight, and see the whole of you very, very soon, either here or in Rome or somewhere in the middle of the path.
Thank you.
Prego.